Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more what are we playing today? Cupid Parasite. I was like, Parasite, no, Cupid Parasite. Good lord. Anyway, continuing Jupiter's route, he's in Chi form. Has been for a while. Okay. We no more choices left. This is supposed to be our sweet and spicy end, but I don't know if we're going to get it in this part or it's going to be another hour of hiding in a cave. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing here. Because, like, the choices are done. So I was like, oh, okay. Kind of figured we were hitting the climax toward the end. And I don't know. So, don't know what's happening. But there's no more choices to make. So, oh, we'll see. Let's eat. Chee. Lots of cheeing. Okay, too much cheeing. We took the fire starter from our stash of findings and started a small fire. Then we started to thaw the food that was frozen solid. I can read. We know we can't. After the hamburger meat thawed, we shared it and paired our meal with some alcohol. It's delicious. Gee, munch, huff, huff. Chi happily scarfed down some sausages while wagging his tail. I just don't like also that if they're going to give us a new Chi, they didn't give us a Chi form. Like, that's cheap. Like, that's rude. Show us the new Chi form. You know what I'm saying? Oh, God. Is the new Chi form what happens in the spicy end? And then, I don't know. Oh, God. Okay, I don't want to know. You know what? Oh, God. But also, again, my concern still is that he won't get his full powers back, but he won't stay Chi, but he'll turn into Peter, and then the happy best end is going to be we live like humans. And I don't know. I still don't love that. You know? You seem to be enjoying that. Gee! To me, the best end was we're gods. We're doing our thing, but then we constantly are getting to, like, hang out in the human realm and go on vacation and whatever. You know what I mean? We get the balance. As we dined together, we felt our divine powers slowly returning. I actually felt my powers beginning to come back. However, it still wasn't enough for us to return to Celestia, so we continued to eat. That was how we spent our days in that cave. We ate, then we went out in search of more food when we ran out. Once we found a good amount, we'd retreat to the cave to eat again and rest. We'd gotten better at navigating the blizzard and finding food in unusual places. We ate and slept. Slowly but surely, our powers were returning. From this experience, I also learned that, as a god, I couldn't gain any weight, regardless of how much I ate. You know, I wish I had that problem. When I took human form, I needed to eat to sustain myself. That was why I ate during my studies abroad in the human realm. But consuming food in my god form helped to restore my powers. Food had a different purpose for gods than humans. I would be the most powerful motherfucker because I would just be like eating up pizza. Let's order burgers. Let's have cheesecake. You want some fucking ice cream? Hell yeah. Be overloaded with power instead of a fat ass. That must have been why humans had made offerings of food and sacrifices to the gods throughout history. The gods had accepted and consumed those offerings. Chi was also enjoying his food every single day. Is it tasty, Chi? Chi! Like me, Chi's appearance remained unchanged regardless of how much he ate. I wondered if that was a good thing. No. He still couldn't speak anything other than Chi, and he showed no signs of turning back into Jupiter, which is kind of pissing me off a little. It's concerning me is all it is. Like, I know I shouldn't be concerned, because the spicy end is the concerning end. There is not trigger warnings on every end is concerning. But seeing his contentment, even in this situation, made me realize his form wasn't that important. See, this is setting up the spice. I don't like it. Regardless of his form, he was still my beloved husband. Chi! Chi! Chi wagged his tail energetically to show his appreciation for the food. After our meal, he affectionately nuzzled my shoulder. Chi! Good boy. I scratched underneath Chi's muzzle, and he squinted with bliss. He's now cooing. Ooh, Chi! Jupiter, you always want my attention. He probably felt like he couldn't beg for my attention while in human form. As a human, he was much more reserved. And in his god form, unthinkable. It was impossible for him to act spoiled, since he had a name to uphold as the leader of the gods. Yeah, but behind everyone's backs when we're alone, you could act spoiled rotten like this. But in this form, those things didn't matter. In the form of an animal, he sought my attention as if it were part of his natural instincts. They were setting up that spicy end so fucking hard. But also, it's kind of like what we should be learning from this, aside from the disturbingness, is, yeah, when you're in your animal form, your natural instincts is to want attention and not be concerned about what the other gods think. So, like, that's what you need to do in your god form. Act more like that. Your natural instinct for you is to want my love and affection and attention. And I can understand, I got my mask on, I'm in front of the other gods, I'm all business. And then we close the doors, and that's when you're crying in a corner because everything was stressful. And then you want me to cuddle and pet you and hold you and tell you everything's okay and tell you you're a good boy. I'll do that. Perfect. You know, that's the balance, right? So that's what we should be learning from this. But let's bring him back to human form now, because it's starting to disturb me a little that we're focusing on this too much, you know? In this form, he could finally express emotions that he couldn't otherwise. I patted Chi's head to my heart's content. Before he could turn back into Jupiter, I wanted us to savor the moment. Ugh, that's disturbing on so many levels. Good boy, good boy! Chi! I patted him a bit harder, and Chi seemed to be even happier. He wagged his tail so wildly I thought it would fall off. Chi went on to lick me all over my face. Really... Okay. Come on, that tickles. It wouldn't be disturbing if we didn't know what was coming, is all I'm saying. You'd be like, oh, okay, this is ridiculous. Okay. You're like, it's a little odd because your husband's like kind of a dog right now, literally. But like, again, it wouldn't be disturbing if I didn't know what this game was setting us up for right now. But because I know where it's going to go in that ending, I'm on edge, I guess. You're like, no. Chi! Oh. Suddenly, Chi leapt onto me, causing both of us to tumble backwards onto the ground. It is not the spicy end, you stop it! We looked at each other blankly. It seemed he hadn't realized how much heavier he'd become since transforming into a wolf. Chi? Oh, come on! I was having fun. I hoped he'd regain his powers soon. While I yearned to be back in Celestia, I felt like it'd be a waste not to enjoy this moment. I still hoped that he'd turn back into his original form soon. I wanted to talk with him, laugh with him, and kiss him. There was comfort in his furry touch, but I yearned for the familiarity of his usual embrace. I felt a little sad as I buried my face in Chi's fur. You should tell him. You'd be like, as much as I'm enjoying this, I want you to come back. Words to say, one to protect. Oh wait, was that did it say the sweet and spicy end, or is this just another chapter? I missed it. I don't know why. The blizzard raged on for days. The sun remained hidden. All we could hear was the echo of our breathing within the silence of the cave. Days passed without any true conversation. That caused us to worry more and more. I yearned to talk to him. I wanted to hear Jupiter call me by my name. Jupiter... I called his godly name, longing for my husband. I buried my face in his fluffy fur. Chi? Chi sensed my distress and looked at me, wondering what was wrong. He allowed me to hold him like that. He snorted softly, nudging my cheek with his snout. I lifted my eyes to meet his. His tongue grazed my cheek, encouraging me to stay positive. Chi! Oh, that tickles. Chi! Chi wouldn't stop licking my face. Maybe he was trying to cheer me up. I turned my face because it tickled, but he would chase me to lick me more. He was completely focused on trying to lift my spirits. Chi? Oh, stop. Our playful antics brought laughter to the cave, but my lingering loneliness wouldn't go away. Back in Lost York, Chi would transform back into Peter during times like this and give me a kiss on the lips. My desire to kiss him grew stronger. Chi! Sensing my emotions, Chi cried out in a sad tone. He moved his face closer and tenderly pecked me on the lips. Okay, don't. Girl, God, game! It's not the spicy end! What are you doing? Huh? When she kissed me in his wolf form, a strange feeling surged within me. It's not the spicy end! The warning was for the spicy end, guys, not this one. This is just... No. It reminded me of the moment we used Keranos or whatever to put the humans to sleep. That was when it hit me. Oh, there we go. Huh? Finally, thank God! Oh, thank God! I was like, we cannot keep going like this. Like, I get it. Like, okay, you're setting... But don't. Don't. You know what? Again, this is another one of those times. If you played this and you had no warnings and you didn't know, when you got here where you're like, no, don't do it. And then he turned and you were like, oh, thank God. I thought they were gonna. And then you did the spicy end and you were like, fuck you. You know what I mean? I don't... No. Stop it. We have to deal with that in the we don't need to deal with the sweet and spicy end. I know it says spicy in the name of the ending, but don't stop it. Where Chi once stood, Jupiter appeared in front of me. Just moments before, he'd been incapable of taking that form. In utter disbelief, Jupiter stared at his hands that were formerly his front paws. He flexed and curled his fingers, checking their responsiveness. Am I back? The sound of his voice stirred deep emotions within me. I'd longed for that voice. I'd missed that face so much. Me too. I think we were all in that boat. The man before me was my beloved husband. Overwhelmed, I rushed into his arms. Jupiter! Spacey. As we felt one another's touch, Jupiter's return felt more real, and he uttered a heartfelt cry. I'm back. I'm finally back, Spacey. He held me close, almost too tightly. I felt like I was going to suffocate in his powerful grip. Now if we're going to have sex in this ice cave, I'm cool with it. Literally. And figuratively. Like, I'm cool with it, but it's also cold in the ice cave. You see what I did? Anyway. It was different from when Chi would lean his body on me. Now I could feel the warmth of Jupiter's strong, comforting arms. Jupiter, I'm so glad you're finally back. Yes. I can finally hold you in my arms. I can finally speak to you. His gentle hands cradled my face. Just his touch was enough to bring back a flood of memories, and tears welled up in my eyes. Thank goodness. But what happened? Was it because you ate? Yes. I think that was part of it. It was the wanting to kiss me. He seemed to be hesitant to explain as he blushed. His gaze drifted. After a while, he gently brushed my lips with his fingers. Well, it was the kiss. The kiss? And do you remember what Zeus said? And to take another's divine powers, one did not necessarily have to devour the other. Yes, I remember that. Huh? But the last time we kissed, it didn't have this effect. That's because it only works if there's a shared will to exchange such powers. Think of Mars and Venus. They've been intimate since ancient times, but remained unchanged. Oh, right. But, well, it seemed that you had recharged your divine powers more quickly than I did. After we ate, I took some of it. You looked so desolate, and I felt the pain of our separation, too. Yeah, me too. I wanted to speak with you again, Jupiter. The joy of your return is indescribable. Thank you. Yes. He blushed deeply, pulling me into his embrace. It really is him. The warmth of his embrace filled me with nostalgia. With his arms around me, I was in a state of pure bliss. Then, I heard him breathe and swallow nervously. His body began to shift as his hands moved lightly across my back. Jupiter... You've been holding out too long. I'm okay with it. I looked into his eyes, and I saw that they were full of longing. I'm sorry. I'm still not fully restored. May I borrow more energy? Oh, I'll give you all the energy you need. Oh, goddamn! That is now, okay, this might be the sweet and spicy end, but that is a spicy CG. We got underboob. Like, goddamn, that's hot. It's beautiful. And sexy. Good lord. Before I could agree, his lips claimed mine, pulling me closer. I'm not moaning. or either one of them. As our kiss deepened, we lost ourselves in that passionate embrace. Like a hunter catching its prey, his arms grabbed a hold of me. Though he was back to his original form, he hunted me fiercely, as if he was still a wolf. Jupiter, I'm sorry. My desire for your energy was just an excuse. I want you. That's all I'm thinking right now. His lips brushed against my neck, peppering it with gentle kisses and bites. The touch of his fingertips was fiery against my cold skin. After all, the earth was engulfed in this blizzard. All we yearned for was each other. Hey, we gotta keep warm somehow. We're gods, we don't have to, but yes, shh, we gotta keep warm somehow. I reached out to him so that we could share each other's warmth. I love you. I wanted to say this to you all that time. Me too. I love you, Jupiter. As do I. I love you. I love you. I love you. Are we gonna go? Come on, we get it. Keep saying it, though. We kissed, expressing our love to one another over and over. Our soft voices resonated in that cave. The exchange of energy was nothing but an excuse. We simply longed for each other's embrace. That was the result of our pure love. We expressed that emotion with our entire being. The sensations were intimate and familiar. Our boundless love. A few hours later, okay, I mean, that would have been a great way to end it, but... So what do we do now? I think we have to do each other again. We huddled close together as I inquired about what to do next. I was thinking about it too. Jupiter was deep in thought as I rested in his arms and on his lap. To compensate for all the time he'd spent in his chi form, he kept me close, refusing to let me go. While he was chi, I'd held him repeatedly and cared for him. Perhaps this was his way of thanking me. I'm so calm when I'm in Jupiter's arms. I almost dozed off while on his lap. When he saw me like that, I felt his grip tighten. I'm sorry. I may have taken too much of your energy. Let's find something to eat. Thanks, but I'm okay, really. It's more important for us to do something about this blizzard. Right. As far as I can tell, the Earth has become even colder. It seems that the gods of the deconsentes still have not succeeded in removing Zeus. It's been a while since we put the humans into hibernation, right? Like 2 days. We don't know how much time has passed, it's like, in this cave. Yes, but Zeus is the almighty god from the legends. It's unsurprising we haven't made much progress. Still, they must have made some progress at least. Let's try to pinpoint their location. We must work together to stand a chance. Detect them? You have enough power already? He'd only recently regained his form. I wondered if it would be okay for him to start using his powers again so soon. He smiled bashfully. Yes, thanks to you I managed to regain most of my power. I should be recovered enough to find them. Thank goodness. I'm glad I ate so much. Yes, of course. That may be it. I remembered all the food we ate. Oysters, hamburgers, crab cakes, donuts, natto, sausages. We ate far beyond the stomach capacity of any human. Plus we drank alcohol. Since alcohol was commonly used as an offering to the gods, I drank a lot of it in hopes that it would aid our recovery. Yeah, food really did help replenish our divine powers. It's true. We can also regain powers from sunlight, but given the circumstances, that's not possible right now. Oh, so you can just sunbathe. Sleep, food, sunbathing. Things that benefited humans could benefit the gods too. And yet we work ourselves to death and we don't enjoy sleeping, food, and sunbathing. Speaking of, humans often worship the sun. Maybe that's why. There were sun gods and sun temples in many cultures around the world. The sun warmed the entire earth, after all. But Zeus is able to nullify the sun's power. Look how cold it is now. Perhaps it was true that Zeus was more powerful than all the other gods combined. I'll try to locate them now. If I need more energy, may I take some from you? Yes, of course. I held Jupiter's hand because he looked worried. He smiled faintly before closing his eyes to concentrate. He always did this when using his powers. His body emitted a white glow and his hair began to float behind him. After a while, he exhaled. Phew, it seems Mars and Venus have come to the surface to search for any animals they missed. The rest of them are at the mantle. All that's left is to go there, where Zeus is. I see. Come to think of it, I hadn't seen any mammoths or bears lately. Perhaps Mom and Dad found and took care of them. I wish they'd found us, too. We're in a cave with a bear! But I'd heard that only Jupiter had the ability to locate gods. Perhaps that's why Mom and Dad hadn't found us. Okay, so they made it sound like, I don't know why, but they made it sound like gods have the ability to find other gods. But no, it's only Jupiter can find other gods. I can't. She's like, I don't have that ability, but then it should be like most gods don't have that ability. So nobody has that ability but him. So it's like, okay. So do you want to join the other gods where Zeus is? Well, to be honest, I'm still afraid of seeing brother even in that state. But we don't have much of a choice. But I'm still lacking in power. So, do you mind? He placed his hand under my chin, gazing at me with pleading eyes. It made me laugh. Jupiter was like a puppy being told to wait for its food. Yes, of course. Thank you. And then there's moaning. Jupiter began kissing me with passion. I also longed for a kiss, wrapping my arms around his neck. We kissed to give him energy, but the amount he actually absorbed was minimal. Despite his aggressive kissing, he was restrained in other aspects. He was always gentle and showed restraint, yet deep down he desired more. He was my god of gods, Jupiter. I aspired to become a more powerful god to better assist him. The next morning, we woke up to find the sky completely clear, as if the Earth was celebrating Jupiter's return. However, despite the sunlight, the cold was still harsh and the ground remained frozen. The sunlight was truly invigorating. Just seeing how bright it was made us feel energized. It was different from the way human bodies created serotonin. Gods like us received energy directly from celestial bodies like the sun. Phew, it's nice to see the sun. If it had been sunny while I was in that form, I might have recharged faster. True. Perhaps the sun came out because you're back to your usual form, Jupiter. Right. That could be it. Jupiter was the god of lightning, or weather in general. With his powers restored, it was possible he'd influence the climate. I never truly appreciated the value of sunlight until now. We continued to soak up the sun's energy. Now that I thought about it, Celestia was high above the clouds. We might have been drawing energy from the sun without realizing it. But the sunlight was not enough to melt the snow. The Earth's surface was still frozen solid. Even the oceans were beginning to freeze. Shall we set out to join the other gods? Yeah. We descended underground to the mantle layer. There we were met with the troubled expressions of the other gods. The gods of the Deconsentes had taken turns sleeping and waking, trying everything they could to move Zeus's stone. Lord Jupiter! Jupiter, you were safe! Yes, I apologize. I expended too much energy and took longer to recover. What's the situation? It's insane! Zeus is incredibly resilient. We're at our wits' end. All the explosives, hydrochloric acid, and diamond drills failed. He's unscathed. That Zeus is tough. It seemed Auntie had tried everything. This was evident from the vast array of tools that surrounded Zeus's stone. You know what we should do? Let's have sex on it. That'll kill him. He doesn't like love. So we should make out in front of him. And then if we have to, we'll have sex on him. That'll... Listen, weirder shit's happened in this game, and more disturbing shit is gonna happen. So, there were bombs and chemicals that looked obviously dangerous, yet none of them even left a mark on Zeus. Poseidon tried to move it with seawater, but that ended in failure too. That was when the ocean started freezing over. He influences the atmosphere even now. Incredible. No wonder it was difficult to seal him. Even my divine artifact couldn't make a scratch. Hey! Cupid is Pluto! I was like, why does... All of a sudden, I was like, he popped up for a hot second. I was like, why does he get a sprite? And then I realized it's Sylvie. Aww! My divine artifact couldn't break it either. We attempted to erect a barrier around Zeus, but it was ineffective. The Earth's temperature keeps plummeting. I see. This is bad. We hope to at least stop it from becoming colder, but it seems the opposite has occurred. If the Earth continues to freeze at this rate, restoring it to its former state will become a challenge. Oh, no! We went to great lengths to bring the humans to heaven. If Earth couldn't be restored, it would have been in vain. Plus, also, here's the thing, right? So Zeus hates love and shit, so he would hate the fact if we kissed in front of him. Oh god, that like right? But also, Jupiter is very reserved and like, nope, can't touch my wife. Like, you know what? She even said that, like in his chi form, then he's always like begging for affection and he wants attention and affection and all that, but he won't do it. Like he's awkward in his Jupiter/Peter form, like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, oh, I'm sorry, still a little shy about it. He's sure as hell not going to be like, grab my wife and kiss her in front of the other gods, right? But this would be the perfect thing to get you the fuck over that and realize that, you know what? Sometimes you just got to let go and kiss your goddamn wife. Maybe not in front of people, but like in front of Zeus to freak him the fuck out, to make him literally like explode. I'm just saying. Progress. I could see them doing it. Again, they're going to do weirder shit in the spicy end, so making out in front of all the other gods to make Zeus's head explode. Fine. He went to great lengths to bring the humans to heaven. If Earth couldn't be restored, it would have been in vain. Explosives, chemicals, not even our divine powers seem to work. What else could be done? I wonder if the solar light we soaked up might be useful. But that seemed risky, considering it might inadvertently empower Zeus as well. I wondered whether there were clues from when he was originally sealed. Yep, here you go. Zeus was confined using the 6 types of love power. The current freezing of Earth was due to Zeus enacting his pre-seal plan to eradicate humanity. This implied Zeus himself was dormant. In that sense, the seal had worked. Could he be destroyed using Cupid's arrow? I murmured my thought to myself. Hearing that, the deconsentes looked at me in shock. Destroy it? Are you suggesting we try to destroy Zeus? Yes, well, Zeus hates the power of love, so I wonder if we can try to destroy him using the arrow. Destroying Zeus? We sealed him because we thought destroying him was impossible, but it's worth a try. The 12 Olympians are stronger now. But the Cupids are in hibernation. I thought divine artifacts can't be shared among gods. No, Juno is a former Cupid. She could use it. What? That's not fair! After everything I went through! What do you mean? Oops, nothing at all! Let's try it. If Zeus can be destroyed, then that's the obvious solution. Cupid, go for it! What was that just now? Yeah, her ultimate evil plan. I thought Auntie's comment was weird, but I brushed it off. With that aside, I went to retrieve the Cupid's arrow, but it deflected? I'd borrowed Cupid's arrow from the Cupids, but it didn't even make a dent in Zeus's stone. I thought I could break the stone with the power of love. It seemed to have done something to him during the seal, but it wasn't that simple. Because it's different. You have to show true love, so you need to kiss your husband. Make out. This is challenging. It's the same with all the divine artifacts, even the Cupid's arrow. Brother, you can be so troublesome even while you're sealed away. Both land and sea are almost completely frozen. Earth may be done for. What about relocating to the moon? Wait, what? I am Diana, the goddess of the moon. I can bestow divine protection upon those who settle on the moon. But it would take tens of thousands of years until it'll be habitable. Terraforming is tough work. Earth currently cannot sustain any life. It would be the same situation anywhere else. In any case, hasn't Minerva archived their culture? Yes, I preserved everything so that human civilization can return to what it was before, and also be reconstructed in any new location. But we love this planet. If possible, I do not want to abandon it. I agree. Even if we could rebuild human civilization elsewhere, I didn't want to simply abandon Earth. This was the planet we loved. I'd experienced so much and learned about life and love on Earth. Earth was like our home. I didn't run away just because of Zeus. We're gonna have a romantic moment and then realize Zeus hates that, and then we're gonna have to make out. I didn't want to give up just yet. Feeling determined, I aimed at Zeus with Cupid's arrow once more. The golden arrow and the leaden arrow. Though I was no longer Cupid, aiming my arrow felt natural. After all, I've been using it for nearly 400 years. But, Feels a little different from last time. Perhaps it was because I was Juno now. Holding Cupid's arrow wasn't as familiar to me as I'd thought. Maybe that wasn't the right way to describe it. It felt as if Cupid's arrow itself had changed. Sorry. I examined the arrow closely, wondering the reason for this change. I didn't know about it when I was Cupid, but this arrow consumes divine powers. It almost caused me to vanish from existence. I became Juno, so that didn't happen. But to bring the humans to heaven, I'd used so much power that I had to recover alongside Jupiter. I'd managed to restore it after some hearty meals and ample sunbathing. Sunbathing. I thought of something, so I turned to address Jupiter. Jupiter, can I talk to you for a moment? What's the matter? There's something I want to verify. Can we ascend above the clouds? Jupiter and I left the mantle to soar into the sky. As I took aim with Cupid's arrow, that's when I understood. I knew it! Above the clouds, the arrow felt more attuned to my hand. The power of Cupid's arrow felt much more familiar in the sky, unlike what it was below the surface. It was because of the sunlight. I'd been firing my arrow from Celestia when I was Cupid. I never tried it below the ground, so I hadn't noticed. And did you figure something out? Yes, divine artifacts are weakened when used underground. But when I took aim up here near the sun, it was much more powerful than when I tried it in the mantle. The sunlight. I see. Since Earth is in a weakened state, that must mean the sun has more influence on our powers. Earth's power? Divine artifacts are powered by celestial bodies. Typically, they draw strength from the Earth, Sun, and other planets. With Earth weakened, I see. That explained why my detection skills were strained. Could it be that Brother had planned this in that short amount of time? Jupiter appeared to be deep in thought as his gaze pierced the ground below. It was as if he was staring straight at the stone of Zeus. Zeus tried to wipe out the human race because they were the source of love that imprisoned him. I wonder if I can shatter Zeus's stone using the divine artifact from up here. I think it's worth a try. Yeah. Harnessing the sun's energy, I aimed and released the arrow, but it's no use. Cupid's arrow rebounded and returned to me. This is tough. I'll try too. Jupiter readied Keranos, but before he could unleash his attack, the other gods emerged from the underground. Cupid, how did you do that? Huh? Do what? Explosives couldn't do a thing to Zeus, but Cupid's arrow made a dent. Really? Our divine artifacts couldn't do a thing either. What did you do with Cupid's arrow? Juno, what's your secret? It's nothing major. I used Cupid's arrow in the sunlight. The sun's energy gave it more power. I was just wondering if exposing the arrow to sunlight would amplify its power, enough to destroy Zeus. After I shared my insight, Auntie looked completely astonished. Cupid, brilliant thought! Oh, wait, you're Juno now. Well, setting that aside, we've been stumped because nothing worked, but thanks to Cupid's idea, perhaps we just need energy from other celestial bodies. I need you to simmer down, bird. Other celestial bodies? My casual suggestion had appeared to be a turning point in our efforts against Zeus. None of the gods objected to Auntie's idea. They nodded in agreement. That seems like our only remaining option. Jupiter, what's going on? I mentioned this earlier, didn't I? We typically draw energy from the Earth, Sun, and other celestial bodies. But the distance between us and the stars is vast. As it stands, we can only harness a small amount of their power. However, if we ascend to the stars, we can channel their energy into the Cupid's arrow that Zeus hates so much. Ascend to the stars? I didn't know the gods of the Deconcenties could traverse outer space. We knew that, because that happened when we were on a rocket ship with Berenice. Yes, and just as we can delve into the Earth's mantle, we can also venture into the cosmos. At the beginning, there was only chaos, the very birthplace of all existence. That was the universe in its entirety. Jupiter's words were reminiscent of the myths of creation. At the beginning, there was chaos. The goddess of the earth, Gaia, was born. She gave birth to the goddess of the god of the sky, Uranus. After that, Uranus and Gaia created the mountains, trees, flowers, birds, beasts, and the stars. Then they birthed Kronos. From Kronos, Zeus emerged. They were all gods with cosmic lineage and, inbreeding, kinda. From the gods' perspective, the Earth and the cosmos were one. They were not separate entities. The power of celestial bodies is immense. It's not just the sun. The moon and all the planets have great power. All right, then. Let's take a trip to outer space and charge up Cupid's arrow.
What a plan! I haven't ventured into space for tens of thousands of years. Agreed, this is the most logical plan.
So it was decided we'd be infusing Cupid's arrow with the energy from all the celestial bodies in outer space. Doubts crept into my mind. I wondered if I would be able to control such immense power. Sensing my unease, Jupiter looked at me with concern.
Juno, do you think you can do it?
To be honest, I didn't know. I'd never done this before. But the Earth's fate was at stake. I had to do this. As a member of the 12 Olympians, it was my moment to rise. Yes, I will. I'll release the arrow.
I see. I know I can depend on you. Then it's settled!
I shall go to the moon to collect energy from there.
Then I'm going to Mercury.
Says Mercury, of course.
I, Mars, will go to Mars.
Then I'll go to Venus. Mom, Dad, when did you get back?
Just now. We missed a few, but we found them. All the animals on Earth should be in heaven now.
I knew it. They weren't finished. The bear that had confronted us had been an oversight. I'd imagine that it was now sleeping soundly in heaven. I didn't see any humans in the meanwhile. Good work to both of you.
I see. I'm glad to hear that none were left behind. All right, then, off we go. With my steed, I can journey anywhere.
Yes, I want to get back some of the energy from my planet. You know I'm compatible with the planet Venus.
Venus is the planet that shines at night. Its beauty is as perfect as your namesake. I see. So once you ascend to your planet, you can replenish the powers you've used. Harnessing the energy of celestial bodies seems to be the best course to counteract Zeus's freezing of Earth. Poor Pluto, he got a far way to go. Also, you're still a planet in my eyes. Listen, I was raised on Pluto being a planet. You can't take that away. It's mean. I'm gonna downgrade my poor planet. Because I'm sorry. If I'm gonna believe in astrology, Pluto is the ruling planet of Scorpio. You can't just, fucking change it on me. Whatever. You can't. It's rude. It's time for us to repay our debts to the gods of creation. In space, some gods were transformed into constellations. Some may still harbor resentment toward Zeus. With the power of the stars, we shall defeat Zeus, all in the name of protecting our beloved Earth.
By the name of the gods. Okay, no, so we're nowhere near our end then. Okay, it's just, it came to the point where it felt like the conclusion was imminent, and yet not. That was a chapter, this is a chapter. So, okay. So we're not getting our end in this part either. I would assume, because we haven't even gotten the sweet, so we'll probably get it in the next part. I mean, unless we finish this chapter in the next couple of minutes, and then the sweet, I don't know, but okay. Because I was like, it just felt like it was wrapping up, you know what I mean? Anyway, our last mission was finally underway. Preparations took place at an amazing speed. I mean, it makes sense because we got to defeat Zeus, but some gods would be responsible for channeling energy from the planets, while others would manage the orbits to avoid potential interference. Gods who'd been in hibernation were awoken. All celestial beings rallied together to save the Earth. It was now time for the gods to embark on their journey to outer space.
I'm counting on you to destroy Zeus, Cupid, Juno. Spacey.
Before departing, Jupiter hugged me with a look of concern on his face. You stay safe on your cosmic journey, Jupiter.
Yes, but as the leader of the gods, there's no danger for me. However, gathering so much energy into Cupid's arrow has never been done before, so I'm worried about you. I wish I could be by your side.
But Jupiter, you're the only one who can harness energy from the planet Jupiter, right? Apollo, the god of light and oracles, had decided which god would venture to which planet. Jupiter was the only god capable of extracting power from the planet Jupiter.
I suppose so.
I'll be fine. I know how to use Cupid's arrow better than anyone. After all, I was Cupid for 400 years. Unlike the new Cupids or the other gods, I'd been Cupid for a long time, so I was confident in my ability to wield this divine artifact. I may have become Juno, But my time as Cupid had stuck with me as a valuable experience. Also, you were Cupid way longer, you know? I still had passion for the role of Cupid. I recalled when Clarice had given me the name Cupid Parasite. I loved being a matchmaker, and then I was the goddess of marriage. I was glad to have such an important role. Love was a gentle and kind emotion. I knew this because I had a wonderful husband who worried about me. Thank you, Jupiter, for worrying about me.
I'll always worry. I love you more than anything. I care about you deeply.
Jupiter enveloped me in a hug. His embrace was protective, revealing his emotions to me. Jupiter was preparing for his journey to outer space. As the sensitive parasite, he should have been more worried about himself. But he wasn't worried about himself. All I could sense was his worry and affection for me. He was the leader of the gods who placed others before himself. With him as our leader, I trusted that Earth would be restored. Jupiter, I love you.
Yes, me too. I love you too. And that's why I fear for your safety. So please, promise me you won't take unnecessary risks.
You too, Jupiter. Don't push yourself too hard.
Yes, I'll be careful. But I'm still worried about leaving you by yourself on this planet.
It's okay. I love this planet. I'll protect it with all I have. When all's done and civilization is restored, let's hold our wedding ceremony when spring comes. That'll be the ending, okay. But when I said that, a look of horror crossed his face.
Gee! Why would you say that now?
Huh? I shouldn't have?
No, it's not that. It's great even. I do want that too, because we haven't gone through with it yet. But, you know, talking about our wedding at a time like this is called a death flag. And that's what Raoul told me.
What's a death flag?
It's a sort of jinx. When you promise something before you finish an important mission, it always ends in failure or something. I learned this back at the Parasite house. And when I asked them about it, Gil and Shelby got horribly depressed.
Oh, really? I felt nostalgic as I thought about the conversations with the Parasite 5. Our love of humans was partly due to them. It seemed that our time abroad in the human realm had left a lasting impression on us. Well, as gods, we should prove that a death flag is merely superstition. It'd lift everyone's spirits.
So you don't believe in this jinx?
When I was Cupid, I saw people keep their promises. Couples that pledged to marry after a big trip would do just that. People would endure adversity. They would reunite or drift apart, get married or part ways. That was a fact of life. No matter the era, no matter the place.
I see. You're right. If the goddess of marriage says so, then it must be true. Then, I promise you, after all is done and civilization is restored, we will hold our wedding ceremony.
Yeah. With that, Jupiter took off as the other gods also headed to their respective planets to complete their task. They ascended at an even faster rate than when we ventured down to the mantle. All 9 planets of the solar system had a designated god to harness its power.
Mars speaking! I've touched down on the planet Mars!
I've arrived on the moon. I can start at any time.
Mercury checking in. I'm on planet Mercury. I'm on planet Mercury checking in. I'm on Uranus. Wait. Fuck, I got my directions wrong. This is Apollo. I've secured the energy of the sun.
Pluto here. I've arrived on Pluto. Listen, calling Pluto a planet. Good for them. This is Venus. I've gathered energy from Venus.
Poseidon reporting. I've landed on Neptune.
All right. My beam device is fully operational. It'll channel all this celestial energy right into Cupid's arrow. Everyone's in space right now. I couldn't see the other planets through the light of the dazzling sun, but I could hear their voices through our divine artifacts, and I could faintly trace their paths through the sky. I like how the planets are all spotted. Like a little Pluto being all, stripey over there. Though I didn't have Jupiter's detection skills, I could somewhat sense what planet they were on.
Jupiter here. I've arrived at the planet Jupiter. Juno, are you ready with the Cupid's arrow?
Yes, all set.
Prepare yourselves, everyone. Time to channel the celestial energies to Cupid's arrow.
Got it! Look at the planets glowing. So cool. I could feel the celestial energy from each god coming toward me. It was really about to begin. The pivotal moment. I inhaled deeply as I took aim with my Cupid's arrow. I locked in on Zeus's stone beyond the arrowhead. So this is cool because it's almost like a CG, but it's the same one from the last game with her pointing the arrow at Zeus. I don't know if they changed it. It looks basically the same. So I don't know if it'll count as one technically, but Zeus, the former leader who detested love and spewed hate from beneath the earth. He was loved and worshipped by many at one point in time, yet if he chose to curse humanity, then he couldn't be called a god any longer. With Zeus in my sight, I drew the bow to its limit. The divine artifact that was used for matchmaking was now wielded by me, the goddess of marriage. I was everything Zeus hated. The energy from the planets continued to flow into me. I felt the combined might of 9 sources of power accumulating within the Cupid's arrow. Well, more than that, 9 planets, and you have the moon and the sun, so... At that moment, I sensed a powerful malice deep underground. It was Zeus. His presence was unseen and unheard, yet the chilling aura he exuded was felt. That was when I felt the tips of my hair freeze.
Spacey, what's wrong?
The cold's starting to reach Celestia. We have to hurry! But I wasn't ready to shoot. All the power from the distant planets hadn't fully reached my arrow. As I waited for it to charge, the flowers surrounding me began to freeze. The eternal warmth of Celestia was giving way to the cold. Wait, it feels cold? In my divine form, I shouldn't have been able to feel the cold, yet a numbing sensation reached my fingertips. Could it be that Zeus's stone had the power to freeze even Celestia? It was an eternal spring where cold could never reach, but I became aware of the encroaching frost. If this continued, Earth and Celestia would both be doomed. Zeus's stone needed to be destroyed, and quick. At last, the final drop of energy from the last celestial body had reached my arrow. I mean, I gotta be honest, they give you a lot, you know it's gonna end well, but the tension, you're like, oh my god, hurry up! You're like, oh my god, but we're freezing, wait a minute! You're like, the tension's good! They did good tension building.
Go! And now's our chance!
Yes, you can count on me! I prepped to shoot. Zeus, your desire to kill humanity for your own selfish greed will never align with the gods' way. No time for monologuing, shoot the arrow. I'll not let you destroy the earth. A distant murmur from below the ground had reached me, a whisper saying it's no use. The coldness that crawled up my leg attempted to rob me of my will to fight, but in that moment I released the arrow. Earth is under our protection. You won't have your way, Zeus! Empowered by 9 separate planets, the arrow flew below the ground, deep into the mantle where Zeus was. And... ah! We heard a shrill scream echo from deep within the earth. It actually did say shill. No. It did say shill scream. I didn't read it wrong. I'm like, shrill is what I'm like, but it did say shill, but it meant shrill. Zeus's stone, struck by Cupid's arrow, crumbled to pieces, and then it disintegrated. Is it over?
Yes, Zeus's presence has vanished. He's gone.
Thank goodness. I crouched down and heard the tips of my hair break off like icicles. Oh, right. What's happening on the surface now? I hurried over to view the human realm through the spring and was utterly shocked by what I saw. The world had frozen. Lost York, Crunch Canyon, the seas of Baltimore, everything was frozen solid.
Spacey!
Jupiter descended from the sky, approaching me. Jupiter! He came at full speed and we greeted each other with a hug. Aw.
Thank goodness you're safe.
His strong arms embraced me, warming my chilled body. That was when I noticed that I was still shivering. Jupiter, you came back already?
Yes, the energy from my planet helped me regain my full power. It was thanks to that I was able to return quickly. I was too worried to leave you here alone. Are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
Yes, I'm fine, but the human realm... We looked down at the Earth's surface together. The entire world was covered in ice, causing Jupiter to scowl.
Zeus. He froze everything as his last-ditch attempt to destroy humanity. A civilization cannot be rebuilt like this.
What even happened? I heard Mom's voice through my divine artifact. The other gods started to chime in. Everyone was clearly concerned.
Before Zeus was destroyed, he froze all of Earth. It's a giant snowball right now.
Wait, completely?
Yes, the Earth is completely uninhabitable. Like it was hundreds of millions of years ago. It's become a true ice age. At this rate, the Earth's core could freeze, causing it to become a dead planet. But I won't let Zeus have his way.
Is it gonna be where he's gonna use his power to thaw the Earth and then we're gonna become humans? Because, like, I was on the good, we're gonna be state gods. Awesome. And, like, I don't like that roller coaster.
It will start to warm the Earth using volcanic eruptions.
Volcanic eruptions?
That's definitely Jupiter's specialty. Yes, I, Jupiter, am the leader of the gods. I will revive this planet no matter what it takes.
Also, because I just feel like, then he loses his power and he becomes human and now there's no leader of the god. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. I don't know that that's what they're going to do, but I feel like they keep kind of almost hinting at that. And, like, I really hope they don't go down that path. Because, like, I've already said it 100 times. I don't like it. Like, Jupiter drew out Keranos and hurled it with all his strength as if he were throwing a javelin. I can read.
Ha! Earth, circulate your magma to warm the lands.
Jupiter's divine powers made the Earth's surface start to quiver and crack. Volcanoes trembled everywhere. But the magma's force was weak. The eruptions were short-lived. The Earth's surface was so cold that it suppressed the magma's heat.
At this rate, the Earth's power will be depleted.
Jupiter held up his hand and Keranos returned to him. He seemed to be coming up with another plan. Why couldn't we have just had that work? That's all I'm saying. He fixed his gaze on the celestial bodies above where the other gods were.
This is the only way. As we have no other choice, I'll redraw the celestial map.
Redraw the celestial map? You don't mean...
Yes. We'll reorient the galaxy and place Earth at its center. All the planets will revolve around it.
That's not how that works. What? I mean, again, this game is...
Classic Jupiter, the god of the sky. I, Mars, fully support this.
Count me in as well. This is so bonkers. But hey, you know what? That's what we expect from this game. This meant that the other planets would have new orbits. With Earth as the new center, everything would surely be in chaos. This defied all the laws of the universe. Also, we're supposed to rotate around the sun. Yet that was the plan. Jupiter had claimed it to be possible. The leader of the gods was about to make a miracle happen. Also, but then how does that... What's the sun? The sun is revolving around Earth. But then the other planets are all... It's a little weird, but sure. I mean, whatever.
No objections here either. Same.
It's an interesting plan. It should make things more efficient. I'll adjust the target immediately.
Thank you. I'll need all of your help. Everyone direct your celestial energy to Keranos.
Yes! This is so fucked up. Oh, look at him now, though. Hi. Look at you getting all tough. Being all tough and sexy. To alter the planetary orbits and reshape the universe's laws, the gods started drawing energy from the celestial bodies. CG, in case that wasn't clear. Jupiter let out a battle cry, aiming with his radiant spear.
I am Jupiter, the leader of the deconsentes, or whatever, the almighty god of the sky. To all the planets, lend me your strength.
Slowly, the planets started to change orbit. Celestial energy from all parts of the universe gathered and converged into Jupiter's divine artifact. In time, the planets began to revolve around the Earth. The power of the stars was harnessed to preserve one single planet.
Go forth, ignite the magma.
The Earth's crust fractured, allowing magma to erupt powerfully. New volcanoes were created all over the surface, heating up the lands. Even in places previously devoid of volcanoes, magma surged, coloring the terrains in a fiery red. Clouds parted, revealing the shining sun, accompanied by twinkling stars. The power of the stars had enforced the rebirth of the planet. I mean, how is that going to fucking affect Earth, though, to have the sun revolve around it? But also the moon. You know what I mean? It's weird. A new creation myth was about to begin. Sweet and spicy darling. Okay. All right, so I don't have the full time to record the rest of this right now because I'm doing this over my lunch break. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to end it here. It's a little under time, but if for some reason the next part's only like 10 minutes or something, I'll edit them together. You won't even know. But if you see this the way this is, and that part was at least 30 minutes or so. So, you know what I mean? And I could use a little bit of a buffer because, you know, I'm a little bit behind from September, so I'm trying to get ahead of time. Now, it's still, I think it's October for you by the time this goes up, but it's still September for me, and, like, I'm barely keeping it a week ahead, so having one part that's a little bit shorter might actually be good for me to get a buffer, so. Anyway, oh my god, I'm choking on my own spit, I'm so sorry. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.